And so then they had to apologize, or so I don't know what
Yes.
happened.
Yes. That
Just all crazy stuff. It's all ridiculous.
Yes.
It's all boys being boys,
Yes.
which is kind of unfortunate in itself. Oh, anything else this weekend that's going on?
No, just more of the same. I said to Courtney, we were gonna if Michigan State would have been able. Oh, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
We are live on Facebook. If Michigan State would have been able to get past Ohio State, we might have had another game in a couple weeks, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen now.
Well, you guys are done now for the season?
Well, Michigan State plays Penn State this coming weekend, but I believe we're done tailgate-wise.
Oh.
So.
I had a nice conversation with Mike Wheeler over the week, or well, it might have been Friday, I guess. I don't know when it was.
Oh, yes. Good morning.
It's just astounding how none of us have been able to be together at the radio station in months and months and months. It's crazy.
It is. I know.
We got Mitch's Radiothon Thursday.
Oh, did they give you a slot? Because I know they were.
I have not talked to them. No one's called me. No one's. I haven't heard from anybody.
Rosie had sent a note saying, "Would you do something?" I said, "I think you should talk to Paul."
I didn't get a copy of that note. If I did, I didn't see it.
WJR
I get a lot
News,
of
and now,
email.
Paul W. Smith.
Get that to her, honey. Thank you.
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. That's right. It is Monday. I hope you had a great weekend that appeared to be different than the week because, well, it was the weekend no matter what. It is Monday, December 7th, the 342nd day of 2020. There are 24 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. This is a special day, December 7th. Fewer and fewer people will remember it, but they should. It was this day in 1941. The Empire of Japan launched an air raid on the United States Naval Base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, as well as targets in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Guam, and the Philippines and the Wake Islands. The United States declared war against Japan the very next day. And here's a sobering note, my friends. On this day, what's nearly 80 years ago, 79 years ago, 2,403 Americans died at Pearl Harbor. This December 7th, more than that number of people will die today from COVID-19. I don't know what it takes to drive this point home and to get everybody to take this thing seriously and do all the precautions they need to take to really protect themselves, their family members, loved ones, and others. Don't know what it'll take, but that should drive a point home. More people will die today from COVID than died at Pearl Harbor in one day. Think of it. The team is here. We've got Dick Hafner. I think just one more week. Is that right, Richard? One more week?
5 more days, but who's counting?
Oh, jeez. It's going to get down to the minutes here in a minute, but Friday. We're not looking forward to that. But, Dick, we're going to savor every moment that we can. Dana Clark is here. Dana, with our
Hello.
WJR traffic and weather thoughts, comments, opinions, wares to sell, whatever she's got going on. Going on.
That's right, people.
I checked with Brian Morton. He loved the McRib sandwich. He tried the McDonald's McRib sandwich. So he merely felt guilty because he knows it's not on his diet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't fully understand, but he did like it. It was good, he said, but not good to eat for him or for many of us. So Brian is in there in good health and doing his walking and continuing to watch his weight and doing a nice job with that. My Kim is here alongside, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. She is up before I am and loves the morning. She is a morning lark, I am a night owl. And of course, our executive producer running the show by the clock, the grandfather clock, Ann Thomas.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. It was a happy day for the Lions. For the Spartans of MSU, not so much. But and for my Michigan, we didn't even get to play because of COVID. And I guess there's still question on whether we'll play Ohio State this weekend. And if we don't, that could cause them a world of hurt. So I don't know what this is going to all shake out to be, but we'll talk about it throughout the day and see what's going on. How was your weekend, Dana?
It was great. Got our Christmas tree. Got Mama Val's Christmas tree. Got her stuff up and going. And so we are almost done decorating. So it was a little breezy, but
a little breezy.
A little breezy, but no snow.
It's a good way.
A little breezy, but no snow.
A little breezy, but
it's a nice way to put it. 5:43. I hear the music, which means it's time to take care of a little business. At 17 minutes away from 6 on this Monday morning edition of the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
And it's our WJR traffic and weather first, Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by the Cremation Society of Michigan. For over 32 years, the Cremation Society of Michigan has been providing dignified cremation services without the cost of traditional funerals. For cremation information, contact the Cremation Society of Michigan at 1-800-241-3131 or visit cremationmichigan.com. Few problems out there to start the Monday commute. 75 northbound after Springwells. Accident is blocking the right shoulder. 96 westbound at the Southfield Freeway. Accident partially blocking that ramp to M39. And 2 lanes blocked by a vehicle fire along 275 northbound at 8 Mile. Avoid that area. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Primetime Testing Laboratory. They offer complete automotive testing services. Primetime guarantees on-time delivery, accurate result reporting, and are a 2LA credited. For your next automotive project, hire Primetime Testing Lab. Get a free quote at primetimetestinglab.com. That's primetimetestinglab.com.
Not as cold for us here as we start off the week, a little more seasonable. Cloudy here this morning. Look for a little sunshine to mix in this afternoon, 39. Mid-20s tonight. Mix of clouds and sun, 41 Tuesday. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
It is 5:45, and we have Rush Limbaugh Monday through Friday from noon till 3. He stops by first thing in the morning, like right now at 15 minutes away from 6 o'clock. Rush?
In a Washington Post op-ed, Bill Whalen of the Hoover Institution asks if San Francisco is trying to hasten its own demise. He concludes that they are. He says the city looks like a ghost town because so many people are working remotely. The office vacancy rate's over 14%. The once red-hot real estate market is tanking. Rents have dropped by almost 25%, and there are twice as many homes for sale today compared to a year ago. It's about to get worse, too. On Election Day, San Francisco voters approved a proposition known as the overpaid executive tax. It's a surcharge tax for companies who pay their top people over 100 times what the typical worker makes. This tax was tried in Portland, Oregon. It was a disaster. Corporations did not lower executive salaries. They cut loose workers at the lower end of the spectrum and replaced them with independent contractors. They always find a workaround. This week, San Francisco's authoritarian board of supervisors piled on another set of restrictions on top of the harsh COVID rules. If you live in an apartment, you cannot smoke any tobacco product anywhere in your home, period. However, smoking a doobie, a marijuana joint at home, well, that's fine. That's okay. People used to leave their heart in San Francisco. Today, you might lose your mind there.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Your family.
Earlier this morning, I don't have any details. Kim is looking, but I saw a blip on the national news earlier this morning. that things are so bad in New York City. And part of this is because de Blasio is an absolutely horrific mayor, but because of COVID-19 and de Blasio and New York City, Goldman Sachs is considering moving their headquarters out of New York City and moving to Florida.
Wow.
If that happens, other corporate giants are going to take that opportunity to move to places where it will cost them a lot less to have their companies. And believe me, it costs a lot less to have a corporate office in Florida than it does in New York City. We already know they're losing thousands of people a day trying to get the heck out of Manhattan and out of New York. This is just unbelievable. I don't know where in Florida, but I saw that. Scouting locations, Kim says, in South Florida, speaking with local officials, exploring tax advantages as they consider creating a base in Florida for its asset management arm. So that could be a very big deal, because once people see the green light to skedoodle, get out of town, I think a lot of people will take that very seriously. It is National Cotton Candy Day. Oh, by the way, it's T-shirt Monday.
PJ Day.
PJ Day.
PJ.
T-shirt, not T-shirt, PJ Day.
PJ. Yeah.
You have PJs on, Dana?
Of course.
Okay.
I had my little Let It Snow PJs on.
Oh, let it
little Let It Snow PJs
Nice.
for the holidays.
Did you get a real tree, Dana?
Yes.
You guys do a real tree, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Was there a
we do.
koala bear stuck inside the tree, holding on for dear life? Like that
That's
one
quite
in
a
the news?
picture.
That was
I got
great.
gypped when I got home and there wasn't one there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
hey,
said,
something's
hey,
missing.
where's my koala bear? That thing looked like it wasn't real. It just was.
Right.
I think
Where
it
was
thought
that?
if I sit here and act like an ornament, no one will know I'm here.
There you go.
Where was that?
I don't remember. Do you know where that was, Kim? Where was the koala bear stuck to the tree?
That would be quite
Australia. Oh, I guess it would
yeah.
have to be
That makes sense.
Australia. And it was a
makes sense.
fake. It was a fake tree.
Oh, was it?
What?
So it wasn't like the tree out in the outback, and they
Yeah.
brought it in and went, "Oh, we forgot to remove the koala bear." He came into the house and grasped a hold of the fake tree. And when the
Aw.
people called the animal rescue people, they didn't believe them. They thought, "Oh,
Mhm.
this guy's been hitting the eggnog early." But it turned out it was true, and they had to come and get it and take him away. And I just thought that was so
That is
cute.
funny. He wanted a little Christmas. He wanted a little Christmas.
Everybody needs a little Christmas this year. That's
There
for sure.
was a story over the weekend saying that more and more people have gone out and gotten real trees this year. Just
Mhm.
for
I'm sure people are doing a lot of things to grasp the tradition and feel more like they're into it. Plus, any excuse to
You're hearing the
be able to
Paul
leave
W.
the
Smith
house.
Show.
Mhm.
News Talk 760 WJR.
So we heard that Dana went out with Mom Val. You remember Val Clark? You remember Val on television? Mom was there to help them with the tree and the decorating and all that. They're almost done. So Annie, what did you do for the weekend?
Well, not too much, Dub. I worked with Steve Courtney on the Michigan State tailgate show
Ugh.
prior to the unfortunate outcome of that game.
That's a nice way of putting it. And we've got Coach coming on today, so I'll let
Yes.
Steve handle most of that responsibility, as I usually do.
He looked
Usually do.
frustrated, though, didn't he? The coach.
Oh, it's had to be humiliating and frustrating. And look, we've had our own sets of problems over at University of Michigan this year. Let's face it, it's not been good. But yeah, that was a tough one. But Ohio State is a machine.
Oh,
They're just tough.
they
you
have
know,
some excellent players.
They really do. Urban Meyer set a base that was pretty incredible, and they're kind of still living off that, I think. But they attract some great coaches, and that's what they've done. That's what I think, at least. Richard, how about you for your last weekend as an employee? Anything in particular?
pretty normal stuff. I don't want to bore the listeners any more than necessary.
I'll miss that from Dick whenever I answer my question. That one, and also, it's a pretty big world out there, Paul. There's a lot of news going on. All righty. I didn't do anything. We're staying very careful. We've got, we have the crisis of having time or not having time with our kids. It's just ugly. It's been very, very tough.
Yes.
How do you say to your kids, no, we still can't get together? I know it's been months or whatever it's been, but it's very, very tough. But then you spend all this time staying clean, I guess is the best way of putting it.
Yes.
Trying to stay COVID free. And then, it's like when your kids were little and they went to school and they brought home every virus and cold and illness in the world. And that was a part of being a parent. Oh boy, the kids are in school. We're going to get everything that's out there.
Yes.
This is one that we don't want to get.
Our entire audience can relate to this too this morning, because everybody's having conversations about getting together and what are we going to do? We
didn't get together for Thanksgiving. Does it mean we are definitely still not getting together for Christmas? I don't even want to think about it, but it's looking that way.
I think if we do, it's going to have to be done differently, don't you?
Yep.
Maybe outside. Think about something outside.
Something outside, somehow, somewhere, something. Hey, this is, let's see, is it Wednesday? The governor's extension on the closures comes up to be either end or be renewed. I believe it's going to be renewed. But I also believe that there'd been some breakthrough. I wrote about it in my column. I haven't looked at the newspapers yet, but in my column today, I talked about at least the restaurants and the government health department governor look like they're going to work together to try to come up with a way that the restaurants can open safely. They have to open. They have to be open. They have to be able to do business. And if there's any place that can do business safely, then so can restaurants. And these people, 2,000, 3,000, whatever, have closed permanently now, and we could lose thousands more forever. People's family businesses, generationally, businesses that have been around forever, are closing, dropping like flies. So we've got to do something. Oh, let me get something positive. If anyone has anything positive to throw out, they can. But if you needed proof, I mean, it's been a long while now that cereal has almost turned candy-like. Do you guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you look at Fruity Pebbles, Apple Jacks, Sugar Smacks, Lucky Charms, Captain Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, Reese's Puffs. I mean, the candies. Well, now it's Count Chocula. Dick's. I'm going to guess that's Dick's favorite. But now we have cereal that's turned into candy. We have Kellogg's new Fruit Loops candy canes. So candy canes that taste like Fruit Loops. I mean, so the cereal is turned to candy rather than it's cereal's turning into candy in a very big way. And then there's candy turning into cereal. Because now Kit Kat is releasing a fruity cereal flavor Kit Kat. So pretty soon the line is going to be completely...
well, pretty soon we'll be eating cereal for dessert, not for breakfast.
Well, and some people think cereal, and I kind of agree with them, cereal makes a great snack at any time of day.
Especially
it really
at
is.
night.
Especially at night. There's
bed.
Something... Well, I don't do it in bed. I'm too much a slob to eat cereal. I don't need a bowl of milk and cereal. I don't need, I'm sorry, did I say milk? I don't need a bowl of oat drink.
Oat drink.
and with my cereal, I did that out of deference to the dairy farmers who don't want us to call that. What's that, Dick?
Never mind.
Come on. Here's a quick serious note. Come on, folks. The people attacking Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's home on the weekend with her kids there and stuff. You know what? There is a place to protest and a right way to do it. And surrounding someone's home with their family in there, especially little kids, is not the right way to do it. It's disturbing. It's even disgusting. I just thought I'd say that. I guess I did say that. It is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
Let's check it here at 5:57, our WJR traffic and weather. First, Miss Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by Shelving.com. Finish the year strong and save 11% on industrial storage from Shelving.com. Double your floor space instantly with modular mezzanines and maximize vertical height with in-stock Unirack pallet racking up to 20 feet high. Don't miss 11% off. The storage your business needs with code WRAP-UP11 at Shelving.com. We rack your world. Vehicle fire, 275 northbound at 8 Mile. That is clear. All lanes are open. Also clear an accident along 275 northbound at Springwell. So just one collision left. It's along your 96 westbound route to M39. The left lane is blocked. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Carpenters Labor Management Partnership Team. Hire the contractors, LMPT contractors for your next construction project. Their workforce is the best in Michigan. Professional, safety conscious, and craft trained for every project. Hire the Carpenters LMPT contractors today. Call 877-477-LMPT. That's 877-477-LMPT. Cloudy skies, 28 degrees, chilly and dry today, a high of 37, mixture of sun and clouds. Tonight, clear skies, your low 23. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in 2 minutes.
You know, you mentioned the restaurants, Deb.
Yes.
The current order expires tomorrow.
Tuesday, not Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Okay.
But the other interesting thing is Nolan Finley had a very interesting article yesterday. Did you read that?
I tried to, it really is irritating. I tried to print it.
Oh.
And the thing comes up and says, this is for people who subscribe to the newspaper only. I subscribe to the newspaper. I still couldn't figure out how to get it to come up. It really upsets me. And I do a column there, for God's sakes. Mm-hmm. But I subscribe to the newspapers, and I still couldn't get it to work.
You should have a password for that.
I used what I thought was my password. It laughed at me.
I thought it was interesting, though, because what he was saying was kind of what Paul is saying. You know, there probably is a way to open some of these restaurants safely, especially the ones who agree to do it safely. I know that the Vicari group, they have worked really hard they've spent a fortune trying to make them safe, and that he believes, and he thinks that the numbers prove this. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know if he's totally right, but he believes a lot of this spread is coming from home, where people are gathering at home. They're going to gather.
Right. They gather. Well, they already said, Friday morning we had Rosalie on as a Women Who Lead. By the way, great job, Ann, on that. That really went well. In fact, I have the list in front of me. My intention is to give them all a nice plug again today, because they all deserve
That was quite a group, wasn't it?
12 outstanding women added to now 10 years. So we're talking well over 100 women that have been featured.
120.
120 women. I see she could do the math quickly. Let's see, 10 times 12. So 120 women. I didn't realize it was 12 each year, frankly, until this year, and I looked at that. But 120 women of Women Who Lead that wouldn't have been lauded and recognized the way they have been if you hadn't come up with this idea a little over 10 years ago, Ann. So I salute you for that, for the Women Who Lead. But anyway, what I was saying, what was leading me to this was Rosalie Vicari and Joe Vicari were on Fox News on Thursday night, late.
And she told you it was live. I was surprised.
It was live. And so I was glad that I'm stupid and stay up late and saw it at about 11:30, whatever it was. But anyway, the woman, Shannon Bream, was keyed in on the Monday Cranes op-ed or guest opinion that Rosalie had run, and that they laid it out, all the people that are out of work, all the people that are affected, and it's a big deal. It is a big deal. But as Joe had pointed out, that it was like 4.5% of people, they say, get COVID from a restaurant, maybe 4.5%. Right away, you could say 9% in a mall. Mm-hmm. And malls are open, and all these other places are open. Why can't the restaurants be open? So, I mean, they have legitimate concerns. And
if they can show that they're safe and they're doing safe things, maybe people could decide to go. And, there are going to be a lot of people that just aren't going to be comfortable going.
Right.
But for those that are comfortable, and if it helps them at all, I don't know. I'm kind of torn about it. I don't know the right thing.
Well, there was another story from Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist trying to cover themselves on this. He said yesterday, the decision on when Michigan restaurants will be allowed to reopen will be based on how well COVID-19 safety guidelines are being practiced, not restaurant metrics. That's to try to push down what Joe was saying about only 4.5% or 4%, whatever, of the problem comes from restaurants. So it's a little bizarre. Well, he was on with Devin Skillion on Flashpoint, and
one thing about Joe, the Bakari Group, is they've spent $30,000 trying to make sure these restaurants are safe. So maybe the concern is that there might be other restaurants out there that aren't being safe, and
a lot of restaurants can't afford the station for taking your temperature. I remember going in
air filters,
Joe Muir's, and there was, this might have been just because of the Renaissance Center, but to get in, you had to go through this.
It's like that
maze.
It's like that in Bloomfield too.
So there's a lot of money that you have to spend to be able to make it safe, and the restaurants have had to just eat that expense, and a lot of places don't have money. Here's what gets me. I got to tell you, Joe and Rosalie Vicari have worked so hard for so many years. They could walk away and live a nice life. They're out there battling for restaurants that are not nearly as healthy as their restaurants. And that's kind of why I salute them. They don't really need to do this, but they are, because they're trying to fight for what's right and helping the restaurants. By the way, could this get any more bizarre? Here you have Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, God.
Rudy Giuliani holding the legislature hostage and doing all of this to the point of where Saturday Night Live opened Saturday Night Live with the Michigan legislature and putting everybody down and doing what Saturday Night Live does. And then he comes up with COVID. Now he's infecting the whole legislature, or the people there for the meeting at least.
Is he going to get the same stuff that the president had? You would hope so.
Probably.
He's in the hospital,
yeah, probably. The same drugs that made him.
Yeah, the same stuff that nobody else gets. 12 doctors and experimental drugs.
Yeah.
So if anybody could have gotten to the president to get him to understand how stupid he sounded when he was saying that.
The speaker, Lee Chatfield, put out a press release last night, a real quickly put together press release saying that they do not believe. In fact, I sent a note saying hopefully he can join us at some point this morning. They do not believe that anybody was exposed to COVID when Rudy Giuliani was there, because they were told that Mr. Giuliani was tested and had tested negative. And they're feeling quite strongly this morning about this. So
I wonder how many reporters are assigned to find out if he really was tested.
Exactly. That's a good point.
God, it would be funny if it weren't sad all the way around.
That was a funny skit, though, on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. By the way,
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. I hope you had a great weekend. That's right. It's Monday, December 7th, the 342nd day of 2020. 24 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Although we remember on December 7th, 1941, the Empire of Japan launched an air raid on the United States Naval Base in Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, the United States declared war against Japan the next day. And the sobering number of deaths, nearly 80 years ago, 2,403 Americans died at Pearl Harbor on this day. Skip to today, December 7th, and more than 2,403 people will die today from COVID-19. The only thing that they have in common is that most of the people who died at Pearl Harbor were men, and most of the people who die from COVID-19 are men. So that's the only thing they have in common. But we used to be absolutely appalled at the thought of 2,400 heroes, 2,403 Americans died at Pearl Harbor. Now we're dying like that every day from COVID, and there's still people who just don't get it. They still think it's a political story. Yes, it was politicized. We know that. It was foolishly politicized by the Democrats and the Republicans for the election. But it's very real. And as I've said a million times, sometimes a mask is just a mask, and you should be wearing one. It's not a political statement or a constitutional statement or anything else. It's a statement of good sense and trying to keep yourself, your family members, and others safe. So now we have the vaccine coming. And besides having to worry about it staying cold enough and believing that it's been cold enough on its entire route to wherever it has to come for us to get it, there are people who are stepping up. In New York, they're calling the firefighters and the transit workers first refusers, because many of them have already stated, we're not getting that vaccine. Why would you not get the vaccine, I wonder? Any thoughts?
No.
If you don't trust the
Science, maybe?
And why don't you trust it?
I don't know.
Because the Democrats told you not to trust it because it was a Donald Trump vaccine. Let's not forget the facts here. The Democrats said, I'm not going to trust a vaccine Donald Trump makes. Donald Trump does not make the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
He did push with his, what was the operation called?
Warp speed.
Operation Warp Speed. He pushed for it. And by the way, for the first time in history, they were making a vaccine in days rather than years.
Oh, that was great.
Warp Speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't make the vaccine. He's not going to make Pfizer put out a faulty vaccine to make him look good.
Right.
But
and
that's
it's the
what the
reputation
Democrats
of the
said.
companies, too. They wouldn't do that.
And by the way, do you think they want to get sued
Exactly.
out of existence by putting
Don't
out
you
something that they would know was bad? What was that, Dick?
Don't you think that a lot of people are afraid that they'll get the coronavirus by taking the vaccine?
Kind of like the flu.
I don't know.
Yes, I think that is part of the worry. And they should understand that it cannot happen. That if you don't feel good from getting the vaccine, it's merely just an immune response.
I got the flu shot. I didn't get the flu shot for years. I didn't like the way that the flu shot was being pushed. I thought there was something wrong with it. I thought, why are they pushing the flu? Honest to God, I use this example. You go get gas, and while you're filling your car, the guy comes out and goes, can I give you a flu shot?
Right. Exactly.
No, I don't want it. But I finally got a flu shot again this year. I think I got it the last couple of years. And I got the one that if you're over 60, you get a different flu shot. It's like 4 times more powerful. So I expected to be on my behind. And I had no reaction, which, of course, led me to believe, Ann, as you know me well enough, I wonder if they really gave me a flu
not
shot.
working.
They might have given me a placebo. What kind of a test am I in?
Did you go ask for another one?
No, because I hate needles. So
Oh, I do, yes.
I just, I got a flu shot, and I got the powerful one. You're supposed to, after a certain age, get the more powerful one. But anyway. You know that fire that broke out while we were on the air Friday at the marina, the Toledo Beach Marina in Monroe, in LaSalle, really, in Monroe, but that we broadcast from every year. A horrific horrific loss. And at least 14 fire departments responded, area fire departments. And it looked like the newest building that was caught up in that, but an estimated 200 boats were stored there. And they're now saying, or at least it was in the news, saying that the cause of that fire, they may never be able to figure it out, because they had to go in there and kind of mess it up just to try to put the fire out. And it was so destroyed that they said they may never be able to figure out what happened. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's amazing. How many boats were destroyed?
Well, it said an estimated 200 boats were stored there. So I'm assuming they mean those 200 boats. Somebody told me it was the most expensive boats were in that building. I guess
Right.
because it was the newest building, most
$1 million
protection.
yachts in that building.
$1 million yachts. Do people have the right kind of insurance on their boats for a fire, I guess, in a situation like that?
So
It must be part of the insurance package when you buy insurance for. Yeah, if you're buying $1 million boat and you're buying insurance coverage for it, which you certainly would, it's got to cover the fires. By the way, speaking of insurance,
This is
we're
going
going
to be complicated because they will not be able to determine the cause of the fire, and that will go right to the heart of a lot of these insurance coverages.
Wow.
Really? That's a scary thought. We're going to talk about insurance coverage, by the way, a little later, that I just bought for the first time ever recently, travel insurance. And we're going to talk about how important that is at a time when you could book a trip 6 months from now thinking you're going to be able to take it, and 6 months from now the trip doesn't happen because of COVID still, or the next Chinese virus, because there will be another. So you got to figure this out. So we're going to get to this with Susan Tompor, right, Ann? What time is Susan coming on?
8:18.
8:18. So that's important stuff. Dick, you were about to say something. I saw
Goodbye
you.
for now,
Oh,
but I'll be back.
boy, it's the goodbye tour for Dick Hafner. It'll be on all this week, sadly. But Friday, the last day, 6:14 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty this Christmas, things are desperate. Bring joy to a child when you make your special year-end gift to Compassion International. Just text GIFT to 83393. That's GIFT to 83393.
We do have to get that song on this morning. I know we'll do it once we get off the social medias, so they can't throw us off for playing. We're going to play Linus and Lucy, our theme. We're also going to play the peace song, Let There Be Peace. It's in like 22 different languages, and our friends at Butzel Long are listening this morning. That's where Karen Herzl, the writer and singer of the song, works at Butzel Long. So I'm told that the Butzel Long people are going to be tuned in all morning to be able to hear that song. So Annie, we got to plug that Let There Be Peace song with
Do it at
Coco.
7:05, Deb. 7:05.
Right, 7:05. So well, this is good. We know ahead of time. 7:05 with Coco Del Signore and other Detroit notables. I'll go through that list for you coming up. But speaking of lists, we have a list of our WJR traffic and weather information with about 30 degrees out, I think, right now. Miss Dana Clark.
Well, Paul W., that accident along 96 westbound at M39, that is clear. So we are accident free and no delays right now. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Primetime Testing Laboratory. In need of testing, that automotive project, Primetime Testing Labs are the industry's best in complete automotive testing services. They guarantee on-time delivery, accurate result reporting, and are a 2LA accredited. For your automotive project, get your free quote at primetimetestinglab.com. That's primetimetestinglab.com.
Cloudy skies here this morning, although we will see some sunshine mix in as we look towards this afternoon. Not as cold as yesterday, as temperatures climb into the upper 30s this afternoon. 24 tonight. Mix of clouds and sunshine Tuesday, 41. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
And it's 6:16 on WJR this